Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about async storage in React Native, and also we're going to make a sign-in screen, and also we're going to talk about how to pass data in props from one navigation to one screen, from one screen to another screen, and also we're going to talk about how to do React navigation. Alright, so I made a blank project using Expo init, and I named my project Tuesday. And so right now I have these commands, I have these dependencies that's installed by default. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna install a few things here. So first things I'm gonna install, let's see, I'm gonna install React navigation. So to install React navigation, I will open my browser. Let's see, I'm gonna go React navigation, and I'm gonna click on this. And so if you go to React documentation, so from here we're gonna click on, we're gonna copy this one, Expo install, and we're gonna paste this. So while installing, we're gonna to install this one as well. Let's see. Okay, this should work. So the same things. Alright, so the next screen would be hello navigation, and I will install this one. Alright, so let's install that. And what else? So one last, I think we can install this one too. Alright, great. While it's installing, I'm gonna open a new one. I'm gonna install here. Alright, so while it's installing, I'm gonna make my folder structure. So here I'm gonna have a folder called source. Alright, so inside my folder, I'm gonna have index. Sorry, I'm gonna have a folder called navigation. Right. Right, so I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna use the snippets to make a React component, and here I will be adding the navigation. So here I'm gonna have navigation. I get an error here. What is this? Okay. Right, so we'll do that again. Let's see. Alright, so while it's happening, I'm gonna create a new folder, and I'm gonna name it storage. Alright, so all my sync storage will be here, and my navigation will be here, and this is installed. Great. Now I'm gonna go back to my app, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back here, and I'm gonna copy this. Alright, so after you do that, we're gonna have this, and we're gonna do a test and see if it's working. So I'll do Expo start. Great, it's running. It's giving me an error, so do React Native run and install. Okay. Alright, let's see. Alright, so let's say it's almost done here. Well, sometimes you're gonna have bugs like this while you are using React Native. but that's fine. I'll try again. Hopefully it should work. Alright, so it looks like it's working. So I put it here. Alright. So here's my emulator, and I'm gonna bring up my emulator. Emulator. Alright, so what I can do is I can put it in my browser for now. It's faster that way. And meanwhile, I can run my Android Studio. Alright. So while that's working, let me try again. Okay. Alright, so here we have the project. Great, so it looks like navigation is working, and I have my, okay, let's see, I almost have my Android Studio opened. Now I'm having the emulator. Alright, so I also have my emulator here. I'm gonna close this. Alright, so it will take some time. Meanwhile, we can work here. Alright, so let's set up our navigation real quick. So what I'm gonna do here, I have this navigation here. I'm gonna make a screen. So I'm gonna go in my source, and I'm gonna make a folder called screens. Alright, great. So I'm gonna make here homepage, a folder called home. Alright, I'm gonna make a folder called sign in. Sorry, dashboard. So this one should be sign in. And I'm gonna make another. Alright, so let's see. So I will go to my sign in screen to see where we're gonna work. And I'm gonna make my component. Using React snippets, I have my sign in component here. I'm just gonna remove this. Alright, sign in. I can write a sign in screen. Great, so right now I'm gonna copy my home code. I'm gonna remove this from here. I'll make that. And I'll paste it here. Great, so I have the home screen here, and I'll write here sign in, and we're gonna test our navigation first. So I'm gonna make the dashboard. So I'm gonna copy this, go to my index, go to my dashboard, and I'll paste it here. I'll change the name to dashboard. Great, so let me see if I have a dashboard. Okay, so I have a dashboard here. So right now I have this page screens here, but I have to connect that screen here, right? So I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to write here sign in screen. Alright, I have to import that, auto import, imported. Great, and it should be sign in. Alright, I can write sign in screen. Okay, so usually I prefer to write all caps so you don't make mistakes. It should be sign in. So usually it becomes easier if you do all caps later on. So I'm gonna write here dashboard. Alright, so I need to import my dashboard screen. Should be dashboard screen. Alright, so I have my dashboard screen. I'm going to write here dashboard screen, and I'm going to auto import. Alright, so I have my dashboard here. Great, so let's see if it's working. I'm going to make a button here. See, my emulator started. Okay, I'm going to run it in my emulator first. My Android emulator. Let's wait. Okay, so different device. Alright, no problem. We can work here in our window here, so I can make a mobile size here actually. Do it better. If I use pixel 2. Right. So I have my pixel 2 here. I'm gonna make a button here in my sign in page. Then I'm gonna navigate that to my dashboard. So we're testing our navigation first. Alright, so I have a button here. And let me close the button. I'll import the button from. Import this one from. Okay, I already have a button here. That's wrong. Okay, I forgot to close it. Alright, so I have a button here, and the button is missing some props. So I'll do control space. Okay, I'll try again. Control space. Doesn't work. Okay, I'll hover my mouse here and I'll see what's missing here. So we are missing a title, non-press. Okay, copy. I'll put title here, and I'm gonna write submit. So I click on submit, should go to dashboard. Alright, so we have submit button here. Alright, so I'm gonna go to my, I'm gonna have to write onPress here. onPress. Alright, so let's see what's happening. Give me one moment, we're having some issues. Alright, so we are back here. So we wrote our title, submit, and onPress should be a function. Alright, so I do function here, and then onPress here, the function, and I'm gonna write here props. So what I can do, another thing I can do, here is I can write here navigation. So instead of writing props here like the way we did last time, we can do navigation like this. Right? We can do navigation like this, and we can do like props like this, navigation, or we can directly just write, we can do like props, and I can do const navigation, those two props, and then I'm gonna deliver any. So same thing. So the way we did props.navigation.navigate, we can do it declare in different way. So that I'm doing it this way. Before we did props.navigation.navigate, and then we navigate to not the screen. So I'm gonna navigate to my dashboard. Navigate to dashboard. Close dashboard screen. Let's double check and see if it's dashboard screen. Alright. So if I click on this button, it should go to dashboard, and it goes to dashboard. Perfect. So it's working. Great. So we have that. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have two input field. So I have my sign in here. I'm gonna make two input field. I'll do text input. Alright, and that should take, let's see, text input takes, cover the mouse here. Okay, I think we can have a placeholder. And the placeholder would be email. and we have email as a placeholder, and I'm gonna have another text input. It will be password. All right, so we have two text field here on our screen. As you see, it's coming, loading. Okay, here you go. I'm gonna make my screen bigger here. So we have two text fields here. Right now, I'm gonna make some spacing here and make a border for the input field. So I'll write how to style it. I'm gonna do some in style. I'll write here border width. We can give it 1, border radius. I can give border radius 10, and I'll do width 40%. Let's try that, 40%. Actually, that's fine, we don't need width. Alright, let's see. We're gonna do some styles, and we're gonna do margin. We'll do margin 10, and I'm gonna do margin 10 here. Save, and here you go. Alright, so here we have our text field. Where's my editor? Okay, it's not working. Alright, so here we have our two text field and a button and sign in. So right now I'm going to store my input field in the state. So I will use state. I'm going to do const array. I'm going to do email set email, and it should be react dot uState. And here another one that should be const password set password would be react set password. All right, great. So right now we have that done. So I need to have an on change here. So I want to get all the words that I type here in my state. So how do I do that? I can write on change. Next line, I can do on change text, and that will be an object, and it will take an event. Alright, so let me see what it takes. It takes actually is text. So I can write a text here. Alright, so here it will be set email. So right now I'm setting the email here to the text. Great, so I have that, and I'm going to copy that here, and I'm going to paste it here for password. Alright, so I have the email and the password in the state. Alright, so right now if the password and email, and I should write here. Alright, so I'm gonna write if, so I'll write here email equals to Tarek, and password equals to password. Okay, so the pass, I can do this, else alert invalid user. Great, so we have that here, and let's try that. So if I write take pass submit, great, works, done. So this one works fine. Alright, so I'm gonna go to my dashboard now, and what I want to do is I want to store the user. So this is a challenge. What we're gonna do, so we're gonna store the username and the password in a local storage, and we're gonna store the user. So in that way the user is always logged in. So or else if I refresh, and all the time the user is automatically logged out because the state changes automatically and it refreshes the state. So we want to store the value, everything in our state, so our app doesn't forget the user. So how do I do that? I'm gonna go here and let's see. So I am gonna store the user input here. So there's something called async storage in React Native. So using the async storage, we're gonna be using we're gonna store that in our local storage. So it's the same thing. What it does in the background, it's using a SQL query. So it's a local database. So automatically it converts to the phone Android SQL. And for iOS, it will be like the database for iOS that I don't remember. Anyways, so automatically does it in the background. So but that's why it's gonna be very easy to use. So we don't have to worry about any SQL query or anything. We're just gonna do it simply. Or it's similar like local storage in JavaScript. So we're gonna do async storage. So let's see. All right. So if we're gonna do async storage, what we have to do, this is the deprecated one. So we're gonna use a newer version of that. So the newer version is we can get it from here, React Native Community Async Storage. So we're gonna install this. Let's see. So I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna open my terminal. I'm gonna install this. So if I hover over this, then it gives me the error. That's how I found this. So it was React Native Community / async storage. So I'll write async storage now, and I have async storage. Great, and I'm gonna do dot set item, and I'm gonna have to pass a string, a key. So the key will be, say, email, right, and the value of the email. So value would be email. That's coming from the state. So this is coming from the state, right, and this one is coming from my React Native async storage. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing for my password. All right, so my password will be a password here, and here it will be password. All right, so I have that stored in my local storage. So what I want to do is when the user first log in, I want to check that if the user already input everything, like all the text, if we have this, if we have the user session saved or not. Or either we can do another thing. Instead of doing this, all this stuff, I can put it here. Maybe better. So if it's here, then I'm gonna save the user. Actually, we can do the same thing. Doesn't matter. So I'm gonna if. I mean, you can do the way that I was showing, but this way I think would be the better way. So I'm just gonna put it here. Alright, so I have that. I'm gonna copy this and put it inside here. So when the user is going to dashboard, that's when I'm gonna store my email and the password of the user. Actually, I'm gonna do before that. Alright, so I have my email and the password saved, and let's see. So how do we check if it's saved or not? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here to the dashboard, and we're gonna make a function here. So the way we're gonna check is like find user, for example, find email, right, from data from local DB, from async storage. All right, so here I will do is find email. So find email would be, I'll write here async storage, dot get item, and I'm gonna write my email, right? So async storage returns a callback. So what I can do here is, as you see, it says, if I hover over it, get item, it says it returns a key. It gets a key, and it gives you the callback, right? So the other one, the comma, you see, key, it gets to the, you're using the key of the data that you want to get from the local database, and then it returns in a callback, right? It's giving you data here, as you see in this format. So callback has an error, and then undefined and result, and in this format. So what we can do here is we can copy this just to make it easier. I can copy this, or we can do another thing. Instead of copy, we can copy this, and I'm going to show you two ways. We can copy this and paste it here. Sorry, go here, copy this, and I'm going to paste here. See, if I have that here, is a callback, which is a function. I'm going to remove that callback, and I'm going to do, so it should be a callback. And here we have error, and it's a function. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to remove this from here, this from here, and I'll make it like this. So I can do this, and I can get the data from here like this. I can return, right now I can return my result, right? Or I have an error here. I can do this, and I can return this. So this way I can do it, or and let's see if it works. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna write another text, and I'm gonna paste it here. All right. So I'll come here and explain to you in a bit. Let's see. So right now, if I do this, if I hover over, I get a promise. Why is it a promise? String. Okay, let's see. If I write here, if I write in pass, submit, I get dashboard. Let me refresh my screen. Pass. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna console log here. I'm returning my result. Here, it's going here. Okay. And okay, we cannot return async storage. What we have to do is we need a state. So I'm gonna do const state, and I'll write here. So the state will be my email, and set email, new state. So set email here would be the result. All right, and here email would be email here. Let's try this. So if I have this, pass, submit, I have dashboard. Still I'm not having that. What is wrong? It's undefined. Okay, so I'll remove this. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna remove this. Not any. Let's try now. Okay, we still don't have it. Okay, let's try a different way. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna use a callback function. So what I'm gonna do is I'll write here dot then, and I will do dot then email goes to set email, and I'll write here email. Okay, I can do value here instead because I don't want the same name as the email that I used in state. Alright, so if I do catch error, and I can do console log error. Alright, okay, I see, that's why, because this function is not running. Okay, this should not work, because if I hover, say it says that this has not been used. Oh my goodness. So what I can do here, I have to run this first, right? So I mean, how will it even work if I'm not running this? That's why it says empty. So to run this, I want to run this as soon as I come to the dashboard. I want to run this, I want to execute this function. So how do I do this? I can use useEffect. I can do react.useEffect, and I need to run it once only. I need to render this component only once. So I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to put it here. Alright, so if I have it here, I'm going to copy this one, put it here, and I'm going to copy this, paste it here. Okay, so I have that here, and now this will come and it will run, and if it's running, and I'll have the state and I'll have the email here. So I'm going to write the email and password as submit, and I have Tariq. Okay, see, so this was our mistake. So our mistake was we didn't run this function. So we have stored our email. As you see, we're getting the email we stored before, so we're getting it here. So what I can do right now is I'm gonna write here, okay, let me write an email instead. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to, if I am like, if I already have logged in, then it'll keep me logged in. It'll not log me out. It will remember me. That's what I want to do. I'll do useEffect here, and I'm gonna import this. Okay, React. Alright, so I've useEffect, and what I'm gonna do is I will check. I'll do the same thing. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna copy this and put it in my storage, so I have everything in one place. I'll make an index here in my storage, and I'm gonna store it here, and I'm import this. Alright, and I will write here my set email. Should be, I can do set email here if you want. Alright, and that's it. So I'm gonna have to export this, and I will have to this is the get, right? Get email. I'll do get password, and I'll write here find password from store. Alright, and I'll write here set password. Alright, and I'm gonna go back, it should be password. Okay, so I'll go back to my, and I'm gonna have to take this one as well. I'm gonna clean my code. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go back to my storage, and I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna make a constant. So export constant, and I'll write here store in Async Storage. Alright, so store in Async Storage will take two things. So one thing will be the key, that'll be a string, and the second thing will be a value. And I'm going to remove one of them, And what I can do here is I can put it here, and I can put the key here. Actually, I'm gonna put the value here. Alright, so if I have that, let's see, I'm gonna use this one now. So I will go back, I will put my store, I've imported that already, so I'll use this one instead. So alright, so I'm gonna remove my set item, and I'm gonna remove this right here. Alright, so it should be working same way, should be storing it. And now I'm gonna get my I'm gonna use find email from Async Storage. Alright, so to do that, I'm gonna go to my sign in, I'm gonna go to my use effect, and I'm gonna call the function on email. I'm gonna import this. So as soon as I import this, it takes one argument, as you see, email, set email, and I have set email. Alright, so I have that. I'm gonna do find password. Let me set password. I can do that like this. So I can do this way. I'm gonna do like, there's several ways you can do, but I'm doing it this way. I can do if email equals to email equals to Tarek and gmail.com, and I'm gonna copy this one, make my life easier. So I'm just gonna copy this. I go here and paste it here. And I'll remove this. Alright, so right now by default we should be logged in. This is invalid user. Okay, so let's see. Because I'm gonna have to write Tarek and at Gmail. Okay, let's see. So password here. Okay, Gmail. Gmail.com, pass and submit. Alright, here I have in my dashboard, and if I refresh my app, I should automatically get logged in. Let's try that, and it's saying invalid user. Let's see, why is that? If I go here, and what I can do here, I can do console log. So I can do this. I can do another thing. Let's see. I can do console log here first, just to see what we get. And I think this is not the best way to do it. I think I'm gonna do the best way now. The better approach. So, but let's see what we get first. And let's see. So let's check our console. Okay, so it's not showing anything. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove this from here. I'm gonna do the same way, key and value, instead of writing password, and because this one doesn't look the best, because then you have to write for each and every function, you have to do set password, set email, you know, it takes a lot of time to do this. So instead I will just do this. I will write here key instead, that's it, and string, and I'll just write here key, get key, this one gets the key and gets the callback, and return. Let's try this. So if I do this, I'm gonna write here get item from Async Storage. Alright, so I'll go back with this one, and I'll remove my code from here, and I will remove this one. And what I can do here is it's a callback, so I'll call that first, and I'll pass it and I'll import that. I'm gonna pass my key. That should be email. And let's try one. I'm gonna try one first and see if it works. Hit done. And I'm gonna write here email value, and then I'll do console log. Let's try that. And I'm gonna write here email value. Let's see if I get it. If I refresh my screen here, don't get anything here. Let's see the logs. Okay, so we're not getting any logs here. For some reason this is not running. Let's see. Let's debug real quick and see if our app is coming here. Okay. It's not reading this one as well. Alright, so another thing we can test, we can do an alert. I can do the alert value test. Let's see if I get an alert here. Oh, I am getting it. See, I am getting the user. I think it's not running, it's not working in my console, but it is, I do have the user here. So if I have the user here, I can just do set email, and then I can do the email, and I can do the same thing for the password, and I can do set password here, and I can do here the same thing if I'm just remove the comments. Alright, let's try this. It says invalid user. Why is that? Untitled.gmail.com. Let's see. Okay. So what I can do here is I can put an email and password. I'm going to talk about this in a moment. Let's try this. Now I'm not. Now if I do this, it's going to ask me time. So my code is not coming here because there's a delay and it takes time. It's setting the email and setting the password, and then it's running this one already. That's why it right away it reads this one and it's reading this one as undefined. So that's why it's coming here, because by default it's nothing, right? So another way we can fix this is by doing this. I can put next line, and I'm gonna get the password here. So instead of this, I'll remove that. I'll get that here, and here I can do, just remove this, and I'll have this one here. Okay, what's going on? Okay, so let's see. So the value here, this one will be pass. Change your pass. And fill the email. Alright, let's try this. Here we go, we're logged in. So as I said, it was taking a lot of, there was a delay, and it will always happen when you're developing an app you're using Async Storage, because this one takes time because it's a promise, and there's a delay here. It takes time to fetch from the database, local database. So that's why the code right away comes here. As it was coming here, I was getting undefined, and that's why it was not working. So what I have done here, I put a promise, I put then, and inside that I just did get item from Async Storage here again, and then I got the password. The password, I use a key that I used here, as you see that I used here, same key, and then I'm navigating the user to the next page. Simple. Thank you so much for watching.